No one is coming to save you, and this truth hurts at first, but if you stay with me until the end, it might be the most powerful thing you ever hear, because the moment you truly understand this is the moment your life begins to change for real. For a long time, you may have believed that someday someone would notice your efforts, someone would give you a chance, someone would understand your pain, someone would show up with answers, money, support, motivation, or a miracle. But day after day, you waited and nothing changed. And deep down, that waiting slowly drained your energy, your confidence, and your belief in yourself. Because waiting makes you weak, not because you are lazy, but because it teaches you to delay responsibility, and the world rewards responsibility, not hope. And the hardest part is that no one ever told you this clearly. They told you to be patient, to stay positive, to trust the process. But they never told you that nothing moves until you do. And today is the day you stop lying to yourself, because no one is coming, not your friends, not your family, not your past, not your future, not motivation, not luck, and not some perfect moment. This is all on you, and that sentence can either crush you or free you, depending on whether you are ready to take control. And most people are not ready because control is heavy and excuses are light. And it feels easier to complain than to build, easier to explain than to execute, easier to dream than to discipline yourself. But look around. The people who win did not wait to feel ready. They moved while scared. They acted while unsure. They worked while tired. And they did not do it because someone pushed them. They did it because they realized something painful and powerful, that no one else is responsible for the life they live. And once that truth hits you, you cannot unsee it. And at first it feels unfair, because you think about how hard you have already tried, how much you have suffered, how little you have received in return, and your mind says, why is it still on me after? All this pain, but pain does not remove responsibility. It only reveals it, and the world does not care how tired you are. It only responds to what you do next. And this is where most people quit. Not because they are incapable, but because they are unwilling to accept that the rescue they were waiting for was supposed to come from themselves. And when you accept that no one is coming, you stop looking around and you start looking inward. And that is uncomfortable, because now there is nowhere to hide from your habits, your discipline, your effort, your choices, your wasted time, your comfort, and your fear. And that moment is the turning point. Because when you realize it is all on you, you also realize that you have more power than you ever thought. Because if no one else controls your outcome, then you do, and power feels heavy before it feels freeing, and responsibility feels painful before it feels empowering. And the truth is, you do not need more motivation. You need more ownership, because motivation fades. But ownership stays, and when you own your life, you stop blaming your past. You stop waiting for permission. You stop explaining yourself, and you stop negotiating with weakness. And that does not mean you suddenly become perfect or fearless or unstoppable. It means you become honest. And honesty is where real change starts, because honest people stop lying to themselves about why they are stuck. And they stop pretending that tomorrow will be different if today stays the same. And you start to see clearly how many days you gave away to comfort, how many hours you traded for distraction, how many chances you delayed because you were afraid to fail or be judged or be seen. Trying and failing hurts. But regret hurts more, because failure teaches you, but regret stays silent and heavy. And when no one is coming, you learn to wake yourself up, you learn to push yourself. When no one is watching, you learn to keep going when there is no applause. And that is where real strength is built, not in the moment of success, but in the moments when quitting feels reasonable and you still choose to move. And that choice is not loud, it is quiet and lonely and uncomfortable. And that is why most people never make it, because they want change without discomfort, and growth without sacrifice, and results without effort. And the world does not work that way. And deep down, you already know this. But knowing is not enough, because knowledge without action becomes frustration. And frustration turns into bitterness. And bitterness turns into excuses. And excuses turn into years lost. And one day you wake up older and tired and angry and confused, wondering where your life went. And the answer is simple: it went where you did not go, and that is hard to accept. But once you accept it, you stop being a victim of time, and you become a builder of days, and you start asking different questions. Why is this happening to me? But what am I going to do about it? Not, why is it so hard, but how hard am I willing to work? Not, who will help me, but who must I become? And those questions change everything, because they move you from waiting to doing, from hoping to building, from dreaming to acting. And action is the only thing that creates momentum. And momentum creates confidence, and confidence creates results, and results silence doubt better than words ever could. And you do not need to be special or lucky or talented to do this. You just need to decide that your life is your responsibility. And that decision is made daily, not once, because every morning you either take ownership or you give it away. And the world does not punish you for being weak. It only rewards those who persist, and persistence is not glamorous. It is repetitive, boring, frustrating, and slow. But it works, and when you look at people who have built strong lives, you will notice something. They stopped waiting a long time ago. They stopped expecting rescue. They stopped asking for permission, and they stopped hoping things would change on their own. And instead, they became the kind of person who shows up even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. And the moment you stop waiting for someone to come save you is the moment you stop being disappointed, because disappointment lives in expectation. And when you expect nothing from others and everything from yourself, you gain freedom, because now your progress is no longer delayed by other people's decisions, opinions, or approval. And that freedom feels scary because it means if you fail, there's no one to blame. But it also feels powerful because if you succeed, it is yours fully. And that is a fair trade, and this is where your real life begins. Not when things become easy, but when you stop running from hard and choose it willingly, because hard builds strength, and strength builds confidence, and confidence builds a life you respect, and self-respect is worth more than comfort. Because comfort makes you numb, but self-respect makes you proud, and pride earned through effort feels different from pride borrowed from words and praise. And deep down, you want that feeling. You want to look at yourself and know you did not quit when it was hard. You did not wait when it was time to move. You did not give your power away to excuses and fear and delay. And the truth is this: no one is coming, but that is not a curse. It is a challenge. And challenges are invitations to grow. And the moment you accept this fully, you stop asking, when will my life change? And you start asking, what am I doing today to change it? And that question is dangerous because it demands action. And action demands discipline. And discipline demands sacrifice. And sacrifice demands letting go of the version of you that wants comfort over growth. And that is a battle you must fight daily and quietly and consistently, and the world will not cheer you for it. At first, it may not notice at all, but one day it will see the results, and by then you will not need its approval, because you will have built something stronger than attention. You will have built character in the final. Truth is this: no one is coming, and that means everything you want, everything you fear, everything you dream about, everything you avoid, everything you become is decided by you. And that responsibility is heavy. But it is also the key to freedom, because when it is all on you, it is also all possible. And the moment you stop waiting and start moving, even slowly, even imperfectly, even scared, you step into the role you were always meant to play. The one who takes responsibility, the one who shows up, the one who does not wait for rescue because they have decided to become it. And now that you know this, the question is simple and it will decide everything. When this ends, will you go back to waiting? Or will you finally accept that no one is coming and this is all on you?